Ferrari looks set for a rough stretch ahead, and even Charles Leclerc seems to have accepted that 2025 may not bring much progress. Despite all the excitement that surrounded the SF25 before the season began, the team is now starting to realize that this campaign might be a long and difficult one that could impact both Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton significantly. The early signs are already pointing in that direction. So, what does that mean for their championship hopes? Has Ferrari already thrown in the towel? One thing's for sure. When fans look back at the start of the 2025 season, the biggest letdown so far has been the team from Maranello. Ferrari appears to be struggling more than expected. The performance of the SF25 just hasn't matched the expectations, and internally, there's growing concern that the changes they made to the car's design may have backfired instead of pushing them forward. Ferrari is staring down a rough stretch, and Charles Leclerc seems to have accepted that making real progress in 2025 isn't looking likely. All the early excitement surrounding the SF25 has started to fade, and the team is beginning to realize that this could turn into a long and testing season. A season where both Leclerc and Hamilton may have to fight just to stay in the mix. The big question now is, what does this mean for their title hopes? Has Ferrari already backed off the gas? Right now, there's no denying it. Ferrari has been the letdown of the season so far. The team from Maranello has run into serious trouble with how the SF25 is performing, and it's becoming clearer by the race that they may have taken a wrong turn with the direction they chose for this year. The engineers were confident about the potential in the new car concept, changing almost everything except a tiny fraction. But instead of climbing the ranks, they've slipped, now barely holding off teams like Williams. It's a tough pill to swallow for a team that looked so promising just a few months ago. And for Charles Leclerc, the reality is starting to hit hard. After finishing fourth in the championship last year, he had every reason to expect a step forward. But now, not only is Ferrari trailing behind Red Bull and McLaren, but Mercedes is starting to catch up too. Even Leclerc admits the numbers don't lie. Ferrari is falling back. After the Miami Grand Prix, he made it clear they were hoping for more, but instead they're being overtaken by rivals who were supposed to be chasing them. According to Leclerc, the team is still pushing full throttle, not giving up on 2024 just yet, but it's hard to ignore his tone. There's frustration, and maybe a bit of resignation too. It's not just about results. It's about seeing the direction they're heading, and right now that direction isn't looking good. He pointed out that Ferrari hasn't brought any major upgrades yet. That's expected to change in Imola, where they'll finally introduce a significant package. But there's concern. While Ferrari has been standing still, McLaren and Red Bull have moved forward, and if Ferrari's updates don't deliver, the gap could grow even wider. Leclerc acknowledged that without improvements, they simply won't catch up. He didn't mince words. Right now, we don't have the performance, he said plainly. We know it, it's clear. There's no panic, but there's a quiet urgency. Leclerc emphasized that while there's still time in the season, what happens in the next few races could define their entire campaign. If the upgrades in Imola don't make a big impact, Ferrari risks being locked out of the championship conversation altogether. That's not the kind of pressure they wanted heading into their home race. The challenge for Ferrari isn't just closing the gap to Red Bull anymore. Now they have to watch their mirrors for McLaren too. Norris's win in Miami wasn't a fluke. McLaren has been building momentum, and they've already introduced upgrades that clearly worked. That's put Ferrari in a tough spot. They're still fighting with what's basically the same car from the start of the season. And while consistency has kept them in the mix so far, consistency alone won't win titles. Carlos Sainz added to the picture, saying the team needs a leap, not just small steps. He echoed Leclerc's words, stressing how important Imola will be. It's not just a home race, it's Ferrari's first big chance to show that they're still in this fight. And if those upgrades don't deliver, then it could be a long, frustrating summer. With Red Bull still leading the way and McLaren now emerging as a serious threat, Ferrari finds itself in the middle of a growing three-way battle. But right now, they're slipping towards third in that fight. They've been solid, but solid won't cut it when rivals are making bold steps forward. That's why Imola is carrying so much weight. The team knows they need more performance, urgently. Fred Vasseur, Ferrari's team principal, understands the pressure. He's talked about how this new package has been in development for a while, and now everything is hinging on how it performs on track. Everyone at Maranello is holding their breath. If it works, it could pull them back into contention. If it doesn't, Red Bull and McLaren might be out of reach before the season hits its halfway point. Ferrari's situation is a tough one, and it's not just about the car's performance. The team's morale is starting to take a hit. Even Lewis Hamilton, who's seen plenty of ups and downs in his career, can sense the frustration. He's openly acknowledged that Ferrari has potential but needs to address its issues quickly if they want to challenge the likes of Mercedes and Red Bull. This isn't just about fixing the SF25's setup or bringing in upgrades. It's about fixing the mindset. Ferrari must re-establish that winning mentality, something that's been lacking for a while. The team can't afford to keep making the same mistakes, especially when the competition is so fierce. The next few races will be crucial to see if Ferrari can bounce back or if they're destined to fall further behind. As the season continues, Ferrari has to act quickly to turn things around. The gap to the top teams is widening, and the pressure is mounting. With the next set of updates, they're hoping to get the SF25 back on track, but it remains to be seen whether it will be enough. For now, their focus should be on fixing their internal processes, improving the car's performance, and regaining the confidence they've lost along the way. If Ferrari wants to avoid becoming a mid-tier team for the rest of the season, they need to act fast. The clock is ticking, and they can't afford any more slip-ups. It's clear that Ferrari's future in Formula One is on the line, and only time will tell if they can turn things around or if this season will be one to forget.